Must one understand the words that he recites in Grace After Meals and Birchas Hamazon? And what is the preferred language for it to be said in if he does not understand Hebrew? Should he say it in his native tongue, in English and the like, or should he say it in Hebrew despite not understanding it? So we find a three-way dispute amongst the poskim regarding the importance of understanding the words that you are reciting during benching, and whether or not, if you did not understand it, can you fulfill your obligation. So some poskim rule that no matter what language you're saying it in, even if you're saying it in Hebrew and Lashon HaKodesh, if you don't understand the meaning of the words, you do not fulfill your obligation of benching. It's as if you do not bench. And it makes no difference if you read it in Hebrew or in a different language. The reason that these poskim hold this way is because the pasuk says, V'rachtas Hashem alikecha. Birchas Hamazon is blessing Hashem, thanking Him for what we ate. If you don't understand the thank you that you're saying, then it's irrelevant and invalid even if you said it in Lashon HaKodesh. So rules the Alter Rebbe 105.1 as one opinion that is brought down, and so is the opinion of Taisvis, Rabbeinu Yaina, the Rash, the Mordechai, and other Rishonim and Achreinim. Another approach in the poskim is that while they agree that by other languages, if you don't understand what you're saying, you're not Yaitse when you recite Birchas Hamazon. If you recite it in Lashon HaKodesh in Hebrew, you fulfill your obligation even if you don't understand the words. So is the second opinion in the Alter Rebbe in 185 Halacha 1, and so is the opinion of Rashi, the Magen Avram, the Beis Yosef, and so is recorded in a number of Rishonim. So far we have a dispute whether if you read it in Hebrew and don't understand Hebrew, if you're Yaitse, well, if you read it in a different language and didn't understand, according to both of these opinions, you're not Yaitse. The third approach is that you never have to understand what you're saying, irrelevant of what language you're saying it in. So long as you verbalize the words, you fulfill your obligation, whether you said it in Hebrew or in a different language. Practically, how do we rule? So practically the custom is like the latter opinion, to fulfill Birchas Hamazon and Lashon HaKodesh, even if one does not understand the language. So is recorded in the Alter Rebbe, in the Ramah, and many other Achreinim. However, the Alter Rebbe adds and concludes that despite that this is the minhag, it's nonetheless proper to be stringent like the first opinion and read Birchas Hamazon only in a language that you understand. So to summarize, being that the widespread custom is to recite Birchas Hamazon in Lashon HaKodesh in Hebrew, therefore initially every person, every individual should strive to learn and teach himself and educate himself the translation and meaning of the words in Hebrew, and read Birchas Hamazon in Hebrew with understanding the language. Until he does so and understands the meaning of the words, it's proper for him not to say Birchas Hamazon in Hebrew, but rather to say it in his native tongue language. So it's actually better for someone who doesn't understand Lashon HaKodesh to read Birchas Hamazon in English and know what he's saying than to say it in Hebrew and enter into this dispute. Nonetheless, as we already stated, those who decide in any event, despite not understanding Hebrew, not understanding the words, to read Birchas Hamazon in Lashon HaKodesh in Hebrew, have upon whom to rely, and they do not have to be protested. Even though this is not the most proper thing to do, as concludes the Alter Rebbe. Certainly, b'diavad, if he said it in Hebrew and didn't understand, he's not required to repeat Birchas Hamazon. As we said, the custom is like the second opinion, that when said in Hebrew, it's okay even if you don't understand. Now this may sound like a daunting task, to learn the translation of all the words of the Hebrew Birchas Hamazon to be able to say it, even initially according to everyone. So the truth is, the Alter Rebbe delineates for us in 185.2 in parentheses the main words that the understanding is critical for in order to be Yaitse Birchas Hamazon. And it's not the entire benching. Obviously the best thing is to understand the entire benching. But for this purpose, to be Yaitse, there are certain segments of Birchas Hamazon that so long as one understands it, he's Yaitse according to all. What parts are we referring to? So the Alter Rebbe says all the parts that have a bracha of Baruch Ata Hashem in the conclusion of the sentence or in the beginning of the paragraph. Those are the main parts that you need to understand. So basically the beginning and ending of the first bracha, when you say Baruch Ata Hashem, you have to understand the meaning of the words of what you're blessing Hashem for. In the second and third blessing, there's no beginning blessing, but there is a closing blessing, so you have to understand each one of those closing blessings. And in the fourth blessing, you have to understand the beginning words, which is the beginning of of the blessing. However, all the remaining words, while it's a great thing to understand them as well and study them, they do not invalidate Birchas Hamazon if one did not understand the words that he said. So once again, one who desires very much to say Birchas Hamazon in Lashon HaKodesh in Hebrew, even though he doesn't understand the word, he at the very least should train himself and teach himself the meaning of the opening and closing blessings of each one of the paragraphs, in order for him to be Yotze according to all. In a future Halacha Mirz Hashem, we will discuss the importance of concentration and paying attention to the words you are saying, in addition to understanding the meaning behind the words.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at www.Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.